welcome everybody to the VAIL VRML EU postseason. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined, of course, by T. T, how are you doing today?
I am doing absolutely phenomenal. Yesterday we had a brilliant run of so many teams coming in. You know, a few upsets, few massive game shifts. You know, the momentum was brilliant yesterday, and today I'm so excited to see what Poise and Acer EU can do to each other.
Yeah, to fill people in on how we've gotten to this point today in the postseason, gotten to this stage where teams are competing for cash prizing at the end of the line. First place coming away with $1,500 in cash, so definitely something to be shooting for. They have been playing all season long. I mean, this has been a 12-week regular season that's been operating on the EU side, where we've had the top teams duke it out over the course of those 12 weeks, hone their strategies, become what are now these experts of the VAIL craft, you know, and then eventually get down to the end of that season where we take the top, I think, 6 or 8 teams, top 6 teams from the regular season. They all go up against each other in a double elimination tournament. Yesterday we had matches played that I don't believe were cast. But today we are jumping in, and today we're going into that winner's bracket. Like you said, we have first up Acer EU versus Poise. Then next, after this, immediately after, Meeks versus IV. I mean, how are you feeling about? Let's start with Meeks versus IV first, because that's what we can look forward to down the line.
Well, I'm going to be in that game, so I mean I've got to look in for that. But Meeks versus IV. It's the quality of VAIL that EU's produced this season comparative to last season. It's really leveled up. So what Meeks can bring to the table, Ivy's been a strong roster so far, but Meeks, they're very good at causing upsets. I mean, last season in another tournament, they managed to beat Crimson Claw, who were previously undefeated in the in season 1. But honestly, the paradigm of the sort of like the skill of all these teams has really sort of evened out at the top level. So EU is going to be a very exciting region to watch tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. Do not touch that mouse.
And I will throw this out there, that today Acer EU coming in with what seems to be only 4 players on the roster, going up against a fully rostered 5-player Poise squad. So I'm
I believe they're
to
missing
see.
Tactical Pan, so he probably come in a little bit.
Hopefully, you definitely don't want to be
he's
down a
their
player
captain,
for the best of 3. But I think we are ready to go for our first map. So I'll give the squads the ready, and we should be diving in to map 1 this afternoon. Let's take a quick gander at the matchup history between these 2 squads. I mean, Acer EU coming in with a 10-2 regular season record. I mean, that's pretty dang impressive. That's you know, almost equivalent to their Acer counterpart on the NA side.
I mean, yeah, I'll tell you a funny story about that Nightfire. It was my birthday, and I wasn't there for the game because I was out with my family. And being on Ivy, I was obviously wanted to see Ivy to upset Acer EU and take that win. And could I have got a better birthday present? I don't think I could have.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about like how it feels to be in this postseason. I mean, you know, T, you're playing in it. You know, like the pressure definitely ramps up when you get to these later games in the season, right? I mean, that's something that we got to be factoring in here too. I mean, I got to wonder how Poise are going to perform under that pressure when it really comes down time to execute, because it's time to execute. We are hopping into map number 1 in this best of 3. We could only play 2 maps today. We may not play all 3. The winner moves on. The loser goes into the loser's bracket. Here we go into Miru for our opening map.
Like, your ability to cope under pressure could set Acer EU ahead, because while being a 4v5, they do have a lot of experience in final situations, and Poise have really got to lock it down and see what they can make out of this game. It's an uphill battle, but it could go either way.
Swap the teams, so you see that Acer EU is on the attack and Poise are on the defense for our opening rounds here. Let's hope that Acer finally get their 5th connected in, but I was going to say it's an early morning, but it's not. It's late afternoon at this stage, I think, for most of these players on the EU side.
It's just about dinner time.
Hopefully they can get that full squad going here for what is going to be, I imagine, a pretty challenging matchup. A nice opener for Abita, catching Pike with an early nade. And over here, a battle up through the center. John Yakuza scoops up another.
Here comes Billiam. He's got that defensive aggression, which could be enough to stall the Acer EU team. And Taz Gaming's out on site. He has overextended a little bit, so it's up to Billiam to capitalize on this positioning. He's able to deny any rotate to A site. He's decided to back off mid. He's playing it very safe. Boys playing very conservative, enough so that they have a lot of discipline coming out tonight.
It's the early rounds.
Wabu's able to get John Yakuza, and that's a huge round. Wabu taking 2, and that's a 3 up left on a pistol round. Yeah. You know, that could be the start of a momentum for Poise team.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play the power play. And right now, Poise have the power play going. Whether it's by design or not, they are in a position where they got to capitalize on getting these early rounds when they have the 5v4, and they did a great job executing there with some early nades, and then, like you said, that big double kill coming in at the end to lock in the round win. I'm curious how the Acer squad will adjust, if at all, their typical sort of strategy, considering that they are down 1 going into all these rounds. You know, I mean, that means you're down 2 pieces of utility, potentially you're down grenades, you're down another Overwatch here to prevent Billiam from threatening the rotation up through the center. There's, you know, a good bit you miss out on by having that 5th con.
Miru is really about map control, and not having that 5th person to take that means that you've got to be lightning quick on this pitch, like Pieke is. And if he's able to make something happen out of this, he's already brought it to a 4 versus 4. But having to have a few hero plays to get that equalization of the 2 sides, especially while attacking, is going to be difficult.
Swing in, a 1-for-1 trade.
Responding to Taz.
Yep. We're into a 3v2. Backside of the defense, if you look at the mini-map, rotating around the back end, you do have Ultimate trying to go through the middle, and Mott scoops up a beat on the outside. And there's Acer's round, 3 left alive, as they tie it up 1-1.
A brilliant execution onto A from Acer. I mean, Pieke opening up the round with the opening pick in mid, and that's the map control they need. They need to be playing more forceful, otherwise they could get swamped by the Poise team.
Here we go into round 3. A 1-1 opening set of rounds, and I don't know what to expect this afternoon in this 4v5, quite frankly. That's definitely not what they need. Billiam scooping up the kill instead of Pike. That puts him down to a 5v3 out the gate, and going to be obviously a bit harder to work through this full defensive line now.
Absolutely. I think the 4v5 has certainly made this a closer match, I mean, as it would. And if Poise are able to claw into the postseason, that's going to be a huge change-up for EU.
I mean, loser here isn't out either. You know, you do go down into the losers bracket, because both of these teams won yesterday in a double elimination tournament. They'll have another chance if they come out with a loss here. So maybe Acer not necessarily feeling the pressure of everything being gone, but here comes a quick corner peek. John Yakuza flies in for 2, can't get it. Abita scoops up the refrag, and Taz is alone on the attack.
I definitely agree there, but the thing is, if you're into losers bracket, you could lose priority. For example, Acer EU, if they're able to come out of losers bracket, they're going to have a poorer seeding, which means they might not get the map picks that they want versus the secondary team that's going to fight them in the finals.
Yeah, and I mean, map pick matters in a best of 5, right? It doesn't matter in a best of 3, obviously, but when you only have 3 maps and you got to play 5 rounds, you are going to have that choice come down to maybe even the most important rounds. A nice little swing there from Sir Ultimate as the retake comes in nicely.
And this is what Poise bring to the table, these disciplined retakes, making sure they have good timing. You know, Acer's got to watch out, especially with the 4v5 where they can't duel as many players as they need to. So they've got to give Poise the respect in terms of when they have sight and when they don't.
Yeah, it's to your point of fine a balance, right? You got to be aggressive enough to scoop up an early pick to set the odds to 4-4, but also you don't want to overextend and get early picked like we saw that last round. So we'll see how the Acer squad balances that out.
And the poise refrag skill is very. You can't scoff at it really, because you know Poise is a team that really drills in all of these key mechanics to be able to actually, you know, win or create unfair fights for the opposing team, and that's where it could come to the detriment, especially in this 4v5 situation for Acer.
Looking at the overhead, we can see the rotation coming to A's side. I gotta wonder if the defense knows this. A 1-for-1 trade up through the middle favors the defense.
Huge pick onto Prod. And that's a Bida looking to deny this A site, but he's not quite there for it. Taz Gaming picking up Wabu. Billiam picking up Pieke. But now it's down to a 1 versus 1. Billiam, very capable player. He's looking for Taz Gaming. He's coming around the CT area. He's playing slow, but if Taz overextends, he might lose his pick. And he does. Nice. Billiam, huge rotate. It really caught Taz off guard. I'm surprised Taz didn't plant for tunnels, for example. But, I mean, perhaps he assumed that Billiam was still in bunker and would just push down. But that's the poise effect there. You can't really predict them as well, because they play properly in a sense. You know, they have brilliant rotations, really good macro level control. So, honestly, Poise 3-1 is not how I'd expect it to start to go.
Yeah, I didn't think map 1 opening up in this series would have Poise in a lead, really, quite frankly, at any point. With Acer's record 10-2, with how they've been playing this season, I kind of assumed that we'd have that regular Acer squad, but obviously the 4v5 impacting them a bit here. Ooh, a bit of a faster play coming in, barreling down to B site here. Everyone's pushing in. Nate's coming in over the top, flashing and smokes on point, and the scanner's going down with nobody dead on either side.
And it looks like Ace is really like opted for their textbook site execute. It's a very hard execute to play against, but honestly, Poise's retake ability is good, but Yon Yakuza being a wild card with 3-piece. Pieke picking up Ibida.
Wow, that smoke dissipated and John had vaulted up onto that ledge and was just in perfect position to cut down 2, and then the transfer to the 3rd. Very impressive. Mott cleans up the rest of that, and Acer with a bit of a change-up on the pacing. Come in with a round. I mean, they've played those last 2 or 3 rounds pretty slow. Early picks, late, you know, going the wrong way, and then eventually, you know, like I said, maybe it's that fine balance, right? Where do we go? Do we push aggressive? Do we wait? And that aggressive send at B worked well for them.
And perhaps the impact of the recent change where jumping no longer makes a sound really helped John Yakuza get up onto that boost position and just have that stealth play whilst Poise waits to go for the retake. You know, his positioning was really off meta, and it really played to his advantage.
One more tucked in, Sir Ultimate trying to shut down the advance up, can't quite do it. A couple of kills coming on the backside. Prodigy swings in, scoops up a double, a triple, locks in the kill.
That's the round. Prodigy's, he's been putting in the work. I mean, you've seen all the TikToks, you've seen all of his aim training. It's coming into fruition now. This is where he needs to use it, and boy has he.
Like I said, we're in the money rounds at this point. In the postseason, these teams are competing for a chance at $1,500 in cash for first place. On top of that, obviously the prestige of being first in Season 2 and cosmetics in game. There's a lot to be sought after. There's a lot to hunt for, you know, so it's Poise, you know, looking good right now, but, you know, when that pressure starts to kind of mount up, are they going to be able to keep it going? That's what we're about to find out right now. Another quick B site coming in.
And to any Europeans who are watching and you're not involved in VRML, I could not recommend anything more. These high-octane matches are thrilling, and growing the EU means there'll be more prize money, there'll be more everything, so try and get yourself into a team and start playing, because you'll love it. Yakuza picking up ultimate. There's Pieke for a beater. Yakuza, that elbow play is brilliant, and that's a 2-piece for him. Now he's got to look for
third?
And Yakuza, he's just carried that round. I mean, he's a top EU player for a reason. 13-5. There you have him. You know, he's putting on a show for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodness. I mean,
And that is the Yakuza effect.
doubling the KDs of anyone else in the lobby, and then some. Nearly tripling it. That is a solid performance, you could say, at the very least.
He's definitely the one to watch tonight. And he's proved consistent very much in recent tournaments, recent postseasons, and league matches. It looks like the executes come out from the Aces side. Pieke able to pick up ultimate with a grenade. Yakuza's moved all the way to elbow again. And now it's down to Wabu to respond to him. Pieke picking up prod. Does Yakuza know where Wabu is? The audio comes out. Wabu's able to pick him up. Billiam, the retake's coming out from Poise. Getting those 2 picks is huge. Now it's left to a 2v2. Wabu, his sense is crazy there. And it looks like it's Taz Gaming who's not on site, which means the defuse pressures come down. And the swing comes out from Billiam. That's a superb retake from the Poise side. I mean, the discipline there was brilliant. You know, they're really on their senses of where these players are sitting.
Yeah, that was, like you said, a very knowledgeable retake, you know, making sure they're checking all of their angles, working together to swing in from both sides as the scanner was down. The timing, too, you have to commit to these decisions. You know, if there was any overweighting,
definitely.
you know, if they had lingered in the midfield, they would have been scooped up on the flank from Taz, and then it would have been a 1v1 on site, you know?
You
So
certainly need that resolve there.
Yep.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, Wabu was practically an oracle, swinging that right angle and just making sure he didn't get cleaned up by an off angle.
I mean,
And that's the difference that Poise are making at the moment.
the half is done already, T.
I know,
Felt like
these
it
are
flew
quick
by.
rounds. They're not mucking about. Looks like they're opting for B play. Pieke with a brilliant grenade onto prod, but the flashes come out. But ultimate's pre-fired rat, but it's not enough because Pieke's still out there.
Third.
Billiam picking up Yakuza, but he gets refragged by Pieke. Pieke's on a 4K at the moment. A 3K, sorry.
Almost had the 4 there.
He did.
Chance for the full 8.
There's a beater looking for the cross angle, but it's not quite enough.
Nice nade
And
tossed
1
out.
versus 3. He's only got 1 minute, and he's away from the scanner. It's going to be an uphill battle for him at the moment. But he's getting slowly pushed by Mott, but I think it'll be the sensei. And that's the first pick in what could be a 1 versus 3. Only got 45 seconds. He's looking for any overreaches from the Aces side. The grenade comes out. Oh, it's a brilliant grenade. And he's just got to get the last. Abida, he's a very quality pistol player, so this could be enough. Taz Gaming swings.
Look at him
He's
using.
playing the forklift very well, but this could be difficult. And it's a reload, but Taz Gaming has cleaned him up. And wow, the effort there from Abida was absolutely spectacular. I mean, the level of knowledge there was just brilliant, but unfortunately it wasn't enough against Taz Gaming's mechanics.
I mean, the recognition on the flank to find that kill onto Mott, you know, like you said, really nicely done. The nade toss, perfectly placed. You know, like that retake couldn't have gone much better outside of them connecting with some headshots to pick up the full triple kill and lock in that round win. But it's Acer chipping away at the lead on their defensive half. We now go in to a full buy. The 5v4, I would maybe argue, benefits them even more here on the offense. But if they lose players early like they are, it just means they're back into 4v4, 3v4, 3v4v2, 4v1. Oh my goodness. Poise down to just a beat it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't afford to be doing that. Your attack really defines the rest of Miru. And if you don't have a strong attack, but you have a strong defense, there's not really any way you can close out the round. You really need that macro level play to work in your favor. And unfortunately, Abida's not in the correct position to help his team. So now he's left himself in a 1 versus 4 with like 1 pick. Brilliant flick from him, but Mott's there to reply to it. I mean, honestly, it looks like Acer are starting to give the respect to Poise on their defense because, I mean, you know, 5 rounds from Poise being 1 up already was just enough to sort of make them worry. I think keep them on their toes, and now sort of the discipline in having, you know, unfair fights for like 1v2s, 1v3s, they're really starting to play patiently.
I think they, as an offense, need to start playing into their advantage a little more, understanding the weak points in coverage, because what it seems to be is either a 1-1-2 split or a 2-0-2 split, meaning that mid lane kind of empty for a push-up, you know? And right now, again, mid lane completely empty, but no one advancing through it. They're instead playing right into what would otherwise be pretty standard defensive formations. You know, it's typically you only have 2 players on a site, and then the rest of your team rotates when you find out where the push is coming from. So, you know, they're not getting the advantage that they were getting last round, but here comes the big send. Oh,
picking up
Mods!
2.
The triple!
Able to get the 3rd. And now it's a Beta again in a 1 versus 4. I mean, honestly, because Acer are anchoring very hard, I mean, it's easy with hindsight and if you have the mini-map, but Acer are anchoring really hard. They're not getting bought by any fakes, which means it might be in the favor of Poise if they're able to put some site executes down, play quickly, and sort of give that shock factor to Acer and win sites quickly.
Acer is a full 5.
Oh, they're back now.
Tac
There you
Pan.
go, that's Pan, the
coming.
captain.
Yep. And if things weren't already looking bad for Poise after a rough 2 offensive rounds, now they do have very few weak points in their defensive line, and any exploiting any of those is pretty much no longer an option. The power play, as we say, is over, and Acer are back to a full rostered 5 players on the team. So we'll see how it goes for them now, but all they need is 3 more rounds. I'm sure Pan's happy with his team's performance.
Also, the addition of Pan, though, could mean that the Acer team are going to play differently. I mean, if they're not anchoring anymore, they could start buying into Poise's fakes. But
The mind games.
they're currently doing a default B-side, but I mean, the macro level play is really what defines teams at the moment. It's how you can read your opponent and also what you can do to mix up your pace and make sure that you keep them on their toes, keep them guessing, and make them make mistakes, really.
Delayed push. 45 seconds left on the clock. 1-for-1 trade up through the center. And Utility coming crashing in. Pike in the corner picks up a triple.
PK.
No, the double there's the 3rd.
And that's PK. I mean, mechanical god at the moment, PK. But you just can't afford. I mean, if you give Acer so much defensive space there, that's gonna happen. Like if you're doing executes, have it done quickly. That's what Acer were doing on their attack rounds. They realized that their fakes weren't working, so they just kept rinsing the same execute again and again and again, and that's what made them a few rounds up.
PK there with that triple, absolutely clutching that defensive hold. And they only need PK. They don't need a full 5. They hold down.
Yeah, he's certainly a player of quality, PK. Going 14-7, same with Yakuza. Mott's putting in the work as well. I'm interested in what Poise are doing at the moment. I mean, it looks like they're looking for a very wide default, looking for overreaches on the Acer defense. And if Mott buys into it, that could be big for them. It looks like they're starting to apply pressure on the A side.
Yep.
And Mott's there to respond to it.
Overhead, you can see that the scanner is rotating over to A, so definitely seems to be an A site push in store here. In addition, you can see John Yakuza also reinforcing that A side a little bit, and TacPan now looking up through the middle. On the backside, Pike on that rotation for the flank, so they are reading this swing to A site completely right now.
Yeah, and it's only 1 minute left on the clock. I think Poise are giving them too much time, and you can see Pieke is going for a wide rotate to catch them out, and this could be bad. I mean, I'm not seeing some good play from the Poise attack at the moment. They need to vary the pace a bit more. They're playing slow. They're giving Acer too much space, which means they don't have the knowledge on where they can be, and there you have it. Pieke picking up ultimate.
That is a prompt for the push to come in, though. They're trying to get behind the defense, and it is a bit of chaos in the trades. Billiam finds a couple
and the
here.
wild card. He's just come through bunker. The Yakuza's there to respond. It's 1 versus 2 for Wabu. And this is one of the most defining rounds of the match for Poise if they're able to get this.
10 seconds.
You do not want to be 8-5.
Nice pickup from Yakuza, and they lock it in. Going to map point. Acer are back in form and playing to the expectations of the community, I think. I feel most people were anticipating Acer to come out on top this afternoon just based off of that matchup history maybe more than anything. You know, Acer coming in with a 10-2 record, Poise with a 6-6 record. But Poise has been playing really good today. I mean, you can see why they won their first match of the double elimination tournament yesterday, you know, and now here challenging Acer. Let's see if they can put an offensive point on. The push seems to be coming to B site.
I mean, you can really see that Poise retakes are nothing to scrub at, but unfortunately their attack hasn't reciprocated that. With Prod sitting in sight, he's able to get one. He's looking for the second and elbow, but there's Yakuza behind, closing out the round. And that's the map 1 for Acer EU.
Exciting. Exciting. A good back and forth. Impressive rebuttal from Poise there overall, but ultimately, you know, Acer coming out on top this afternoon, and it's map 1 on Miru going into their hands. Let me update the scores. We got an accurate reflection. A 9-5 opener. Where do we go from here? I'm guessing Suna. I can't imagine map 2 is taking us to Kitty after that, but maybe that's a way you can kind of shake things up. If you're Poised and you're going up against Acer, is that going to give you any kind of advantage? I don't really know, you know.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Kitty's obviously a wild card map, so
yeah.
if Poise have been secretly practicing Kitty, now would be the time to show it. Honestly, yeah, Suna, I've seen a lot of upsets on Suna. Like, yesterday we had the Express Aerial game where, I mean, Express almost won it. Aerial were the favorites because they'd gone undefeated in the CC, but Express really showed quality. They really pushed through and, you know, got into the heads of the Aerial team, and they got an 8-9 out of it, which was very impressive from them, but they just weren't able to close it out. So I think Miru really gives you the skill difference. It really shows it through. I mean, if you have a poor attack on Miru, you're going to get swamped. But Kidi and Suna, I think there's a lot of wiggle room to be able to actually edge into.
Yeah, much more forgiving, as they say. And it's not Kitty. It is Suna. For our second map of the afternoon, we're diving into it. We did have a brief break there for some battery swaps, but everyone has full battery now, and we are ready to go. What do you think of Suna here on this opener? We've got Acer on the attack and Poise on the defense.
I mean, Acer are a very quality Suna team. I mean, it's originating from Crimson Claw days, but honestly, because they've had a lot of roster changes at the moment, so whether their formula still works is a good question. But I think their strength on Suna is going to show here as they look for a 4-1 pistol split onto B long. And there we have the opening pick coming out from Wabu with picking up Mob, but Tactical Fan's able to refrag. There's Piake looking for prodigies, and Yakuza really showing in the work, leaving it to a 1 versus 3, 1 HP for Sir Ultimate. This is a very uphill battle. I'd be very shocked if that was able to win this. And there you go, that's Taz Gaming closing out round 1, starting the Acer EU train for Suna.
Got to be careful about letting this one get out of the station. If the Acer EU train starts chugging, it can be tough to stop it. And I'm sure Poise are thinking about that in their mind right now, coming off of a kind of rough loss on map 1 because they were at points ahead by several rounds, and you know they had an opportunity to kind of take a map out from underneath Acer, but with a nice bounce back, Acer are in control, it feels like, going on to the attack on a map that they very well prefer. And look at the change in strategy already.
What Poise need to be is the delays with the replacement bus service to Acer, because other than that, they're not going to be able to show their dominance in EU. Poise brilliant. Nice. Picking up Piake. There's Prod looking for the head peaks on sandbags. He's dropped down, but Yakuza's there for a beater. Yakuza's getting 3, and that's a 1 versus 4. 4 poised Billiam.
The fourth? No,
Able to pick up
Yakuza.
Yakuza.
Can't quite do it. Oh my gosh, that knife. Almost caught Billiam, whizzed right past him. And this can be tough. The 1v3 retake scanner down and time ticking. 30 seconds to work with.
I mean, yeah, it looks like the quasi-non-serious aspect of a series you were coming out, trying to hit a hero play with the knives, but Billiam's not able to capitalize off that.
I mean, we see it in competitive. The knife, a one-hit kill. It's not. It's, you know, you might as well throw it, right? You might as well kind of toss one over if you're, you know, just because if it does hit, hey, it looks cool, but also you've got your kill, and then, you know, you don't have to take the risk of peeking the angle necessarily, but. Yeah, it's at a high level, you see knives getting thrown pretty consistently, I feel like.
I mean, I've seen a lot of amazing knives on cast, but to be honest, you've got to see like the levels of respect for each team, because if you're throwing knives, it does show that you have that sort of unending confidence to lock out those rounds. Because you're essentially giving them 1v1s. So you're soft throwing, but if you have that competence to you, you're still going to lock out the round. And having confidence with that competence is what really causes the knife to be thrown. At least late round.
Yeah.
Anyway, the plant's coming out from Mott with Taz Gaming watching Catwalk. But here we have a poised retake coming out. Taz is able to expect Billiam, but Billiam's there picking him up with the headshot. And now it's down to Mott. With Billiam looking for him. Billiam's seen him, and he's able to pick up a second. Billiam! He's hit the 1v2, and that's a sight back for Poise. Getting their first round on the board on Suna.
It's encouraging to say the least. You know, they really do need to be able to prove that they can bite back against Acer, right? And in a moment where Acer is looking to snowball, looking to really ride momentum down to a 3-0 and keep the ball rolling to maybe even a perfect half, you know, that gets shut down nicely by Poise on the defense. So the question becomes, what do Acer do? How do they adjust? We'll take a look at the overhead to see if it's a or B site push. It looks like they're going to keep pushing B and maybe just count that round loss up to a fluke.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a very strong execution on B, and looks like Poise Prodigy's not going to give him the respect, and he's going to look for an aggressive play. And he picks up his first person.
The double!
Able to get the second, not quite a third, but Poise Prodigies, he's looking for that. He's looking to make hero plays on B, and I don't think Acer will be expecting that. Mott's Assault Ultimate's lost his rifle, and he's challenging with a pistol, and that's now down to a 2 versus 3.
Not quite sure how you lose your rifle, but maybe in smoke or something. Pieke scoops up the center rotation. There's still one more here. Wabu goes down to Pieke, and that's a double to lock in the round win.
Clean play space drop shot there as well. I mean, I love the physical movement aspect of VAIL. You can really get creative with it.
It's, I mean, you had guys sweating after after the finals on stage at VRML Con earlier this year. You know, like despite the fact that you are holding a gun and stuff, you're doing probably a good amount of squats throughout the course of a series, and that was definitely one of them on display there. A little trade between Pieke. There's some 0 damage between the two, and actually Pieke taking more damage than the smoke. He's able to rotate up though, and it looks like the rest of the team waiting.
28 HP. And this is good for the Poise defense. Although Pieke just hit an absolute homing grenade onto the ultimate, but Prod's picked up 3. The hero plays from Prodigies, ladies and gentlemen. They're here, and they're here to stay.
For the fourth.
Not quite able to get Pieke. But with Pieke being so low HP, I believe he's 1 shot away from death with the AK-47.
Nice flash. Pieke completely blind, trying to fend off both sides, and Billiam scoops it up. A good bounce back from the likes of Poise. Lost the round. Things might have snowballed. No. Poise is here to fight. They fought in map 1. They're fighting in map 2. It does become relevant to the question, like, you know, how is their offensive half going to look? Because we're getting closer to that. But, I mean, look at Prodigies on the triple kill here on this replay. Headshots, headshots, headshots to grab all 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, him grinding hours and hours and hours in VR Aim Trainer, it's really come to show. And to be honest, Poise are definitely dug in for this defense, but being a defensive side of the map is going to be difficult for them on their attack. But here's Yakuza. He's already made an entry into this site. Billiam picked up Taz, but tactical pans there for the refrag. And now it's a 3 versus 4 with one pick coming from Prodigies with the grenade. Now he's got to deny plant. He's looking for the wide angle, but he's not quite able to see plan through the smoke. And now this retake needs to come out, but the positioning from Pieke is superb. Now he's got a challenge ultimate, and he wins. Closing out the round, and that's 4 rounds to 2 for Acer.
I feel like we are not wasting a whole lot of time in these rounds. You know, these pushes coming in quick. Acer clearly has a pace that they're trying to set, you know.
Yeah, they have that unshattered confidence, really, and that's what's giving them an advantage, in my opinion. I think just having the confidence to be able to, you know, have that resolve to just make whatever play you want can really tear apart a team, because it means you play unpredictably. But also, on the contrary, this is what Prod's doing, but Yakuza's there to deny it. Avida, for Yakuza. Grenades come out, just not quite enough though from ultimate.
Utility to deny vision. Pieke on the backside scooping up one through the smokes. Tatpan finds another, and B site in control for Acer. The retake for Billiam and Wabu is now what's at store, and they're going to try and coordinate their retake here as Wabu finds the first.
Now it's another Poise retake, but Billiam's done it before. But Taz is in an immaculate position to be able to deny him. So he's got a bank on Taz peeking, but it's just not going to be enough. But Poise, Billiam picking up plan, that's the opener, but Taz is there, as we saw, and Mott's there to clean up Wabu on Catwalk. I mean, yeah, the post-plant setups are now coming out from the Crimson Claw side, so it seems they've started to dial in a little bit for the Poise, make sure they can't get any ground and sort of shut down any momentum possible.
Yep, Acer EU looking in control of the entire series. They've taken map 1, 5-9 already, and now with a confident 5-2 lead in map 2, they are looking at taking the series here off of this and being done with the afternoon. They didn't have to play yesterday because they got the bye for being first in the regular season ladder, but they're playing well here regardless of it.
Acer have opted for another B play. Prodigies has mixed up his position, but it's not quite able to get any value out of that. But Ultimate's there. Got refragged by Pieke though, so now it's a 2 versus 4 for Wabu and Billiam. I mean, looks like Wabu and Billiam are really getting left behind in these B plays, and it's sort of up to Prodigies and Ultimate to be able to get that early momentum in the round to deny any crazy fast plays to get Billiam and Wabu round for the retake. But there you go, Billiam, he's putting in the work. And there we have it. It's now all 2 versus 3. It's better than a 2 versus 4, but Mott's there to pick up Wabu. We've got to see something magical from Billiam. There's Pan looking for the challenge, and Billiam start watching, and there you go. That's a round closed out for Acer EU 6-2. That's a brilliant impact for the attack, and now they've got the defense.
Yeah, and if you are in Poise's position, you have to be a little concerned. 3 points away for Acer to lock in a series win and advance on through the winner's bracket. It will push Poise down to the loser's bracket, where they'll play next weekend for their life, quite frankly, because if they lose then, it will be out of contention for that $1,500 in cash prize pool to first place.
And one thing we got to comment on is how beautiful that Crimson Claw knife is. I mean, you know, when you win a season, guys, you get a skin, so get involved. Let's try and see some more VRML teams. Do you want your own skin? Of course you do.
Nice nade, Avida. Catching Pieke out early is going to be key to this push. Back being here, still holding up top, though. Acer trying to fend off the rotation to B, but 2v1. Oh my goodness, Tacpan picks up both, makes it 3. Yes, they do. Taz on the back actually finishes it up, but what a huge play there from Tacpan on that side. It was looking like Poise had a nice advantage, and let's just take another look at that. Oh, the replay froze, but that's okay. What a great move regardless from Tacpan.
Absolutely. I mean, he was really able to come in there. I think there should have been more from Poise to be able to get the refrag. But yeah, Pan really showed his quality, played some good positioning, and made sure he could deny that B play.
Saw Mott picking up 2 there as well. So both of them stepping up to the task of defense and pushing their team 2 points away from locking in a W here this afternoon. Knife comes up over the top, not going to connect, and a bit of a mid push coming through here, it seems, with Scanner actually in nobody's hands and just kind of sitting on the back of the offense. Maybe they're wary of losing that Scanner as they push, kind of extending up front, and we could have a bit of an early fight here between a couple of players.
With a bit of a wild card grenade onto Pieke, but Ultimate's there. Pick up Mark with Taz onto Prod. That's denying a little bit of mid from the ACID defense, but Boys have made a decent opening at the moment.
Really happened.
They've got to challenge Yakuza, and that trade is clinical for them to be able to take this side. And here we have Tactical Pan having to challenge from Catwalk. But there's Wabu looking for him. I mean, the positioning from Poise is brilliant here, and I'm starting to see the vision on this scanner drop play. I haven't really seen that beforehand. But now it's a 1 versus 1 because Taz is able to edge in onto Poise Ultimate.
Did you see that knife just zip by them? That almost connected onto Wabu. That would have been one way to win the round. Scanner is going to get baited out, and on the Scanner, try to push out. Scanner doesn't get all the way planted, so they're going to have to go for it again. That smoke is going to dissipate eventually, and I think they're trying to bait out the Scanner plant, and they'll find the kill. A great job from Wabu.
The game sense there to swing out just as the smoke comes down. I mean, I assume that's what Taz was waiting for to make something happen there, so he didn't step for audio. And just, I don't know, the timing was just brilliant from Wabu. He's really shown his sort of, his like omniscience in a sense. He just knows. Wabu just knows. Looks like we've got another default coming out from Poise. They're looking to mix it up little bit so that they can keep AC on their toes, but we've got some aggression coming down from Yakuza on mid. He's going to be challenging the garage. He picks up one, not able to pick up the second. And there's Tactical Pan replying to Poise Prodigy's push into mid, which leaving it down to a 3 versus 4 for Poise.
Beat on the outside, trying to push up to B, challenging the on-site defenders alone. Seems a bit risky, but eventually drops back.
I mean, Poise are looking to make a slightly different play now. I mean, we've got Wabu coming back to the scanner. I don't know what he's going to do with it, though. I mean, and if we're not able to predict what they're doing, imagine what Ace is thinking.
Yeah, we're able to see the mini-map through the walls, all of the, we have all the info. Acer is just piecing it together off audio cues and their general game knowledge. So it's all a matter of how they push into this. And as the utility comes in, TacPan kind of anticipating that somebody was going to press there. That flash, I don't think, went where they wanted it to, and ultimately TacPan still comfortably holding on to site here. And maybe the rotation going to come in from Wabu and Abita here soon.
Absolutely, and with 30 seconds left on the clock, they're forced to make a move. It looks like they've given it away because Pan's there for him, but Wabu's there for the refrag. Now it's down to a 2 versus 3, and Wabu and Ultimate have very, very scarce time to do anything. There we have Ultimate picking up Taz. Now it's down to Ultimate. With 10 seconds left on the clock, it seems like this round is unwinnable. They're just going to look for that grenade here.
Yeah, can't even get the scanner in time.
The
The knife
barely misses him.
whizzes past there. Head Acer.
The troll players have come out. They know what's happening there.
Locked
Although,
in.
with 3 seconds left on the clock, if he played that properly,
yeah, he could have
won
gone
that.
and picked up both of them. Yeah, they kind of got a little bit lazy there. On both ends, honestly.
Yeah, you couldn't predict sort of that mentality from AC to just not give you anything, but they gave him an open goal really for that round, but would it have mattered? It probably wouldn't, considering the score.
A reminder that after this map, the series will be over, but we have another one. We are not done on the EU postseason double elimination tournament yet. We have Meeks versus IV coming up after this. T will be playing in that, so we'll be rooting on our fellow co-caster. So do be sure to stick around and tune in for that action. It should be relatively quick after this series finishes, if it finishes right here on round 12 as Acer are looking to lock it in.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be signing off, but remember, we've got the NA postseason coming up afterwards, a few hours afterwards, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And here we have what could be the final round coming into fruition. Rodri's able to cross, but he does get picked up by Pieke, and Pieke's a hard player to play against here. Ooh. But Billy Amzet providing value from Catwalk. There's a beater onto Yakuza, and now Poise are up in this round, 3 versus 1.
They're fighting.
And that's what they need. They need that really beautiful execute. You know, they're taking superb positions, and they're playing safe.
I don't know if Acer expected a big fight coming in here from Poise, considering that they were maybe thinking it's the last round of the series, this and that. Poise are still contending. They are not going to let a 5-point lead discourage them, as Taz doesn't let a scanner discourage them. They're pushing up through the smoke. They know Abita's around the corner. Can they scoop up Abita? No, they can't. They had a second guess on turning behind them just as Abita peeked out, and Taz goes down. We stay at match point. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves quite yet here, T. There could be a chance left for Poise to bounce back into this. They've got a bit of a road ahead of them. 5 in a row is what they need to do, but it's the postseason. Anything is possible.
Absolutely. It's not over until it's over, and, you know, in football terms, Manchester United never gave up in the 90th minute, and that's what won them championships. So you can't say it's over until it's absolutely over.
Nice name.
There we have, Mott opening it up to the 5 versus 4. And Yakuza's there to reply to a beater, and looks like the push has come out, but we've got Tactical Plan in a brilliant position. He's got that nice off angle, looking for the Poise attack. He's able to pick up ultimate, deny the plant. Now it's down to Prodigy. He's a very capable player, but it's a 1 versus 3 situation. He's got to make something magical happen, and if he's not, that's the game gone for him. And that's Yakuza.
And that is the series
win.
Acer EU coming out on top. I think that was the general expectation, but man, did Poise put up a heck of a fight throughout this series. Map 1 and Map 2 on Suna. That was a lot of fun to tune into, and Acer definitely delivering to what has been a great regular season performance. 10-2 over the course of the regular season. It's kind of what we expected. We got to sign off, though. We got to get ready for another game. T has to go get warmed up. So, T, we will see you. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Let me just pull you off the stream so you can go ahead and do what you need to do. And we'll watch some replays. But what a game. What a game.
Absolutely.
Ready to dive in to our next one. We're going to cut to about a 5 to 10 minute break. Before we do, a quick shout out to, of course, Axe Labs, the developer of VAIL. They've been doing some phenomenal updates to the game. The free-to-play update hitting relatively recently and improving the player base substantially. We're seeing a lot of new players coming into both VAIL and the VRML. So welcome, man. You're watching the best of the best duke it out right here. But next season down the road, you'll definitely have an opportunity to play as well. So start practicing now, as they say, during the off season, and get ready for more VRML action, just like we are going to get ready for more VRML action on the EU side in a few minutes. And again, a shout out to Axe Labs, sponsoring the VRML, contributing into that cash prize pool, $1,500 on the line for first place. We cannot appreciate them enough. That has been it, though, for this first game. We have another one in 10 minutes. We'll go to a brief break. When we come back, more VAIL EU postseason action. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to the VAIL VRML EU postseason. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, and we are here for our second game of the afternoon. Meeks versus IV, duking it out in a effort to avoid the losers bracket. Both teams coming out with wins from yesterday at the start of the double elimination tournament. Both teams obviously looking to advance on to the semifinals and go up against Acer EU, who just won a few minutes ago. Another best of 3 coming up in front of us, so we'll be sure to reset the scores and the maps and get ready for the action. I've got teams in lobby already, so we'll go and give them the ready up. And they can start map 1 whenever they want. But we should be diving into this matchup shortly. Let's take a quick look at the matchup history between these two squads, Meeks and Ivy. We're getting the old Acer previous encounter there, but Meeks and Ivy, with Meeks going 9-3 on the regular season, Ivy 6-1. Both teams impressive records. And if there is ever to be a match that takes us to a third map, today is that matchup. Number 2 versus number 3. And the winner of this going to be a team that's able to challenge Acer EU in a way that Poise was able to as well today, but maybe even more. You know, Acer not unbeatable on the EU side. They've had 2 losses already this season, and I think either one of these squads could be a team that beats them in the postseason, in the semifinals. I think next weekend, I believe, if I'm correct on that. It might be actually in January, after the new year. Anyway, I think we're ready to go. Both teams in lobby, ready to start up and dive into the action. We've got this weekend and next weekend filled with high-octane postseason, and obviously this is the last game for EU in this for this weekend, but we do have NA coming up. Had some technical difficulties there getting in the lobby, so do give me a moment to sort out things on my end. We should be getting ready to dive in. I do appreciate everyone that has been tuning in today and is being patient. I don't think we're missing any action. The teams went back into the shuttle, thankfully, so okay. Technical issues sorted. And I do appreciate the squads for not getting into too many rounds without us, or any rounds at all, really. I think they reset the entire lobby, so we are just waiting for everyone to get back in. And then we should be getting into our first map. A quick shout out to Axe Labs, of course, the main sponsor of VRML, and Season 2 coming in at a tremendous contribution to the cash prize pool, $1,500 on the line for first place. It's definitely something worth fighting for. And that's what Meeks and Ivy are battling it out for here in this double elimination tournament. The winner of this tourney comes out on top with that cash prizing. And on top of that, obviously being crowned the Season 1 or Season 2 champion. You know, I mean, the prestige definitely worthwhile. And when EU continues to grow, you know, having that battle record, if you will be beneficial to the team for a lot of purposes, recruiting, all of that. So, you know, a lot to be fighting for at the end of the day as we do get everyone back into lobby. And we should be getting into our first map shortly. And again, I do appreciate everybody that has been patiently waiting. And we're good. Map number 1. And this best of 3 kicking off on to Suna to open up our series. On the attack, we have... Ooh, let me get the rosters. On the attack, we have Meeks, or Ivy, rather. On the defense, we have Meeks. And into our first round we go. This series anticipated to be pretty dang close. T mentioning that they thought this would be a good one this afternoon. We'll take a quick look at the overhead to get a perspective on where these teams are coming from. And it looks like it's going to be a A site push. B has drawn attention. One gone down there quickly. Braza getting scooped up. Here comes the utility barrage. In through the smoke, around to the site in the rotation on defense. Coming over towards B. The full battle. Going to unfurl here. Scooter looks for shots through the smoke and can't find him. Where's the scanner? Civ finds connections on the back end. Picks up a double and is pressuring the remaining 2. Rapid firing the trigger finger. Meeks, Isabella on the backside scoops up a double kill, and I think that was 5 alive on Meeks' side. Maybe 1 went down, but nonetheless a strong defensive opener. Suna, a map that rewards a good defensive squad, but in a similar way rewards a solid, confident offensive team. So we'll see what we get from Ivy on the attacking round here as they swap it up over to B site instead of A. In the smokes, close quarters battle unfolds. Random arrows holding the downstairs angle, waiting for the rotation, but here comes the smokes to deny that line of sight, and there's 4 on the attacking half. Ivy in full control of B site. Civ and Random are all that's left, and Random has dropped off of holding that center angle. Wisely, I think. Going to try and work with their counterpart to make some magic happen. That requires a couple of kills, and Civ finds the first. On the short angles, Random needs to get control. Needs to knock out Knock. Ooh, and finds a 1-for-1 trade that makes it a 1-for-2 for Civ. They know where Bleach is in the corner, or at least suspect it. That knife gives away positioning of the second, and time ticks. A good nade toss and a nice pop out from Bleach to catch the kill they need. As IV say, hey, good pistol round, but we'll take it from here. 1-1. And I think the back and forth is going to be a consistent trend that we see this afternoon between these two squads. Oh, and Apaza picks up a double with a nade tossed over the wall. That's going to disrupt the play for IV as Espaza picks up another. They're going to pick up the ace. No, T shuts it down. A quadra kill. That puts T alone into a 1v4 with Scanner down on long B. Flank coming into their position, and Gray will finish things up on the long range. A nice bounce back. Meeks with 4 alive. And it might just come to that one-off play, that one clutch moment that is going to get teams wins in this back and forth. But I think it's going to keep going both ways. I think we're going to see clutches coming in from both sides pretty consistently this afternoon. You know, there's something T mentioned. You know, those standout plays, those big moments. That's what matter the most sometimes in the postseason. Paza is looking for another one of those standout plays. They already picked up a quadra last round, and now they're getting aggressive. They spotted the whole team here. Grace with the great support on the rotation. Apaza tries to peek out, gets flashed, and instantly fragged by Fraza. Grace still alive, has used this time to tuck back into a very deep corner, but one that's vulnerable to a well-tossed nade. That nade goes a little bit short. Two nades go a little bit short. A third nade goes a little bit short. Grace survives on the backside. They're not likely to expect him. Still living, but Gooblin does jump up for the kill. A nice refrag from Meeks as well as they hold things down. A one-for-one trade over the top puts two left alive on the attack. And
round starting. Get ready.
Could have been. Was not to be. For Meeks, at least, as IV come out with a nice, solid offensive point. We tied 2-2. Isabel, please. Yeah, okay. You get lucky if I say Isabel, because if I read Meeks first. Wentworth Gray finds a nice kill. Gooblin on the hunts. In the smoke finds Gray. Isabel. Now pushing through the smokes themselves. Swings for a double. Holding the line for Meeks. Scanner down and knock on the other side of the map. It's going to be a long retake ahead of them. One that does not come to fruition as Civ shuts things down through the middle. Back and forth. Reminder later today, after EU is finished, we will be having another best of 3 between the top 2 teams from the Challenger Cup for North America. The postseason fights continue, so there's still more to come ahead of us. And obviously a lot more ahead in this series. Oh, a double, a peek out. Gooblin absolutely frying the on-site defense there through the smoke and random. Catching a nade. Kind of randomly shuts down any momentum that could have been at B site. T gets picked off on the opposite end, and
round starting.
Despite a nice play, IV do not get that round win. First 2-point lead out of the series, as we are just cracking into map 1. Smoke's coming up, trying to draw out some audio cues on what the rotation is. Random tucked in, but getting overwhelmed as Gooblin picks up another double. Left on Meeks as that nade connects. Leaves Gray alone in a 1v2 though. Scanner down in the middle. Gray has an angle. He just watched one cross. Scanner did get picked up in that effort. Will go down. And the duo will tuck into the back corner to fend off the eventual rotation from Gray. Oh, and Gooblin. It's the KD here.
Starting. Get ready.
8 and 6. Almost leading the lobby. Gray's right up there with 9 and 5. But some good plays coming in from Goob this afternoon. Here we go. go. Round 8. The final round of the half, and then we swap sides. I wouldn't be shocked if we ended it even Steven 4-4, but I could imagine the Knicks want to take their defensive half with a positive scoreline. Again, Gublin. Finding another, can't get those shots. Civ picks up 2. Isabel scoops up another, and Bleached Fraza alone. Nice rotation there, and that catches out Scanner. It puts Fraza into a tough spot. They got 1 minute and 10 seconds to work with. They know where one defender is, and they've got a bit of utility from their down teammate. Both defenders know Scanner's down here, but Isabel has very low HP. That nade could have done it if it had just gone a little further. She'll swing out regardless and pick up the kill, and Fraza goes down. Meeks take a positive half. 5-3. With now Ivy going to the attack. Or excuse me, Meeks going to the attack and Ivy defending. Ooh, nice pick up there again. Isabel continues to play well. "12 kills leading the lobby here. And look at this, a play up through the center. Double smokes into the mid. I don't think I've seen a move here on this site like this. As Apaza catches Gublin out. Only 1 left on defense. The rotation that was standard is denied. What a nice play. Meeks deploying something unique in the pistol rounds here. And in comparison, IV very conservative on their retake here. Knock has stayed tucked in way too reinforcing. That nade tossed beautifully by Apaza. They'll pick up 2 for their trouble. Bleach at least gets the refrag, swings for 2, and can't quite find it with so many left alive on the offense. Apaza's found a lot of good nades so far in this series, and that was certainly one of them. Watch it bounce off the wall there, right onto the toes of Knock, and they find their second kill on the Fraza there. Doesn't get them the round win, but hey, good play nonetheless. Whoa! Gublin suddenly finding kills on the back end, disrupting this offensive push as they kind of crash back. Each goes down. Gray keeps pushing. Gublin continues to rotate on a fallback and finds the kill they need. Running low on ammo, I imagine, though, and Fraza standing between the duo. Can't get the first as Isabel continues to find more and more kills. And Gublin with half HP alone on the retake. "35 seconds left. "20 seconds left. Has to start moving here. 15 seconds left. And down they go. Very solid hold from Gray and Isabella.
Round starting. Get ready.
Isabella. Put Meeks up 7-3 in map 1. They had a good opening. And Ivy battled back pretty well, but since we've swapped sides, Ivy have had a tough time putting up a solid defense. We'll see if that changes now, as they definitely want to stop the bleeding and do not want to take this to map point. Oh, nice nade there. Isabel bouncing one around the corners. Almost picks up a double for their trouble, but Knock drops back. And we're left into a 4v3. Meeks deploying this unique up the middle strategy again with smokes through the mid lane to deny line of sight. But this time they are not full sending. And look at this patient move coming in from a posit. They're allowing the defense to rotate up. The question is, will they be countered? Fraza ready and waiting. And they almost pick up the kill. But Apaza is able to battle back. Knock at full health, still fighting here. Scanner is down on the backside. So technically, Knock has the right angle to hold. 20 kills. Almost 20. 19 kills for Isabel on the round. If they get one more, they break into 20 kills. And okay, I was making sure there's some other double-digit killers there, because that would be crazy. But still, a heck of a performance from them this afternoon. If Apaza hadn't stolen that one, it would have been 20. Back and forth over sight. As Gray manages to keep the scanner moving. Not looking ideal for Ivy now. As Civ catches Goobling out in Bleach. Nearly getting scooped up by the nade. Civ will finish it off. Denies Isabel the 20, but gets their team map 1 in dominant fashion. 9-3. Into the hands of Meeks. And you know, no shame here. We're always secretly rooting for our fellow casters, but T not necessarily getting the map win there, and Miru a little tough in the hands of IV. Suna tough. Miru is what it's on the mind, because that's likely to be map 2. And I'll go ahead and give the squads the ready up so they can jump into that second map whenever they are. May see a sub, may see a little bit of a battery swap, who knows. But a hard-fought battle from the likes of the Ivy squad in the early stages of that half, but eventually Meeks really ran away with the momentum, some big clutch plays, and quite frankly, Isabel, I mean, putting up 19 kills, almost going into the 20s. I see some players that were just playing earlier today, jumping in chat. Pieke, thank you for tuning in. I said Pike. Pieke. It's who knows. It's impossible to know. But we do appreciate you. And we do appreciate you playing. Arbog, Vlast, Quick, Rez, Reality on VR. Make sure you check out their content. Reality on VR, a wonderful content creator. If you're not subscribed to their channel, it's pretty easy to do it. You can just click on their name in chat and subscribe. Get great reviews, all that great stuff. Good, solid VR content from Reality on VR, so check it out. Not seeing any subs, not getting any indicator we're going into a timeout. But let me make sure that nobody is waiting on me. And there we go. Into map 2, and there is no kitty surprise. It is indeed Miru. For our second map up now.
Match starting.
Into the action we go. With Meeks on the attack to open up Miru, coming off of a strong map 1W. Isabel coming off a 19-kill map 1. Let's see if that carries through. The pistol opener here. Gooblin getting hit by the smoke. And what a good connection. Isabel connecting right to the head. Knock. Goes down to Civ, and a double doesn't come through. T denies it. The nade over the top of Random, though, does catch T out. And IV
Scan started.
trying to push in. Trying to pinch for the retake. Do not find their way. And Isabel starts map 2 with 2 kills. Breaking into 21 now overall on the series, but nonetheless, Meeks putting up a very solid performance, and Isabel in particular standing out among them. But there have been great plays across the board from the entirety of, obviously, the Meeks team. Apposite with some fantastic nades, Civ with some big multi-kills. Have arguably won them rounds, so Knock here trying to fend. Good defensive smoke coming through, and Knock swings just in time. Catches Random. Isabel says no thank you. Scoops up Knock on the refrag. And another smoke going to try to deter this offense from pushing in, but deter by how much? Gooblin and T suddenly left alone. Smoke's coming their way. Gooblin's position way. Vulnerable to any potential nades. Tossed over the top for a swing out from the rest of this team, but confident enough in their skills to use that smoke to their advantage. Finds Civ around the edge. T scoops up Isabel. And we're into a 2v2. Plaza and Gray going to need to find the shutdown on this retake, which is coming in with plenty of time left. There's the first. Gray finds the first. Can't get the second. Gooblin picks up a double. And a huge clutch resets IV.
Scan interrupted.
And what was otherwise a potential dangerous snowball effect. IV have maybe given them a chance. I mean, rather, Gooblin given IV a chance to feel the momentum and maybe get back into a little bit of a rhythm here on our second map. A great double kill there, though. Clutches up the round, and we're all tied up, just like we were in map 1. Coming in, a 1-for-1 over the top. The kill leader doesn't hurt. Random finds the refrag quickly on a rotation, though, and now Gooblin's going to have to clutch again in a 1v3 with limited health. Knows where 2 are and has the angle there onto Civ, but did not connect onto the headshots they need. Scanner has rotated with Random already, so A is planted. And now there's a couple of different angles they got to be concerned about if they don't press forward fast enough. Gooblin doesn't seem to be worried about pace, though, and Random's going to find the kill anyway. So, Meeks back in the lead, 2-1.
Round starting. Get ready.
And again, a shout out to everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action today. I really do appreciate you stopping by, showing some love for the EU postseason. And I mean, why would you want to miss this? These are some great games. We're seeing some interesting plays, some new plays, stuff I haven't seen in 2 seasons. Smoke's coming out to B, though. Knock just avoiding the smoke so that the audio cue is not giving any info. Goobler will catch Civ. Isabel with a quick refrag. T with a nice timed smoke catches that nade and instantly gets cover. He's trying to push up and through the boxes, finding a lot of fire. Tries to swing out around the elbow. Fraza and Gooblin connect with kills that they need. And now Gray's alone. In the 1v3 with a pinch coming in from their flank, they have to press the matter here. If they stall, they're dead. Fraza finds the ankles. Adjust the headset. And IV tie it back up 2-2. Just like map 1. The back and forth. And eventually, somebody gets momentum. Fraza, get that headset on comfortably. Underground battle about to unfold with an aggressive swing from Bleach. Catches a nice headshot on the Civ. That's Scanner down no less. Callout's going to come from Bleach to the team. Look at the overhead. With Scanner down and knowing this detail, nice, quick, aggressive push is needed. They do not want to allow the defense to settle in. And if anything, they want to try and catch this rotation and then capitalize on it. So they're going to utilize their mistake to then try and swing around. Isabel catches Knock trying to get aggressive on the flank. Again, the information getting conveyed that a full A-site push was coming. But what a great maneuver. What a great read. What a smart play from Meeks to recognize that Scanner was down, to recognize the callouts were there, to recognize they had little time to push. If they had waited 10 seconds longer, it would have been the round for IV. They had the right idea to crash. But it was a better play made by Meeks at the end of the day. And really well done on that rotation to put them up 3-2. That was IV's round. A really good opening kill onto the headshot on Civ that drops the Scanner. And, I don't know what could have been done differently, other than that defense not being at B and having to rotate. They all crashed A and were there to fight, but just a little bit off. And again, the right call made by Meeks to rotate. Pretty good contest here at B. The defense recognizes that actually A-site's getting pushed. Fraza's here on the short corner, and they snap down to each other. 1-for-1 trade. Leaves us into a 1v2 with T alone on defense. Scanner down at A in the retake with 40 seconds on the clock. There's the first. And full HP here. They suspect Gray's in tunnel. But without seeing anyone there, they're going to go for the Scanner stick. Gray's going to try and sprint up. Oh, and the bait might have cost T the round. They swing out and Gray connects with the kill. I think they could have stuck that defuse. With how far Gray away was, they were tucked all the way down in the tunnel. It would have been at very least pretty close. And I think they were trying to stick the defuse and maybe didn't actually intend to have their hand go off, but when you look away from your controller, sometimes that's what happens. B-site smokes indicating a B-site push, and look at the mini-map, you can see defense crashing just to it. This has worked. It hasn't. The rotation comes into effect at any point. They're anticipating a full send, and so far the full send is in effect, but it's a little effect. Everyone going down, and suddenly with Scanner on the ground in the middle of B, Gray is alone in a 1v5, an absolutely disastrous B-site push. That puts Gray getting flanked. Hit from all angles. Utility coming their way, and a vital round.
Round starting. Get
And a
ready.
good shutdown round nonetheless. Coming in from IV. Miru, I argue, tends to lead defensive sided a little bit. So Meeks having 4, I think, might be enough for them to then swap sides and put up a solid defensive half. But Ivy obviously not wanting to allow them to get the lead going into that side swap, I imagine. So this is a big defensive hold here coming up. Isabel finds the early pick on a knock, trying to get that. Raza with a quick pick back. Sets us to a 4-4. I don't think Random or Gooblin know either one is there. Scanner really hasn't committed to a site yet. And out comes Fraza, down goes Fraza. A trade on the other side leaves B side open, though, and we're into a 2v2. Fraza and Bleach going to have to retake here.
Scan started.
Oh, and Fraza tries to transfer for the double, but it doesn't go the way of IV. And Meeks take the half, swap sides, go to defend, and look to take the series in 2 if they have anything to say about it. They'll knock IV down to the loser's bracket, or they'll have to compete next weekend for their lives in this double elimination tournament. In comparison, the winner here moves on to the semifinals, goes up against Acer EU in due time, and that will be a heck of a challenge. So either way, they're in for a tough follow-up series if you win or lose today. But so far, Meeks getting close to a Series W. Side swap might be what they need, though. Isabel catches another early pick, though, and here comes a full A-side push. All 4 players that are left alive. Inside of Ivy pushing it. Gublin finds a posit, open it up. And A-side is looking good. Scanner should go down with a little contention. Retake hold, and on the back end, we've got some moves coming in. Bleach is still alive. Tries a nade, picks up 1. Oh, catches a second in their death. Isabel is still left alive, though. So they will interrupt the scan. Meeks 3 away from the semifinals in Season 2.
Round starting. Get ready.
$1,500 on the line for the team that gets first place this season in this postseason tournament. And that's got to be something that maybe is playing an effect in the minds of these players. Ray and Civ doing some damage. Fraza able to pick up a quick refrag, though. Put in what is an overwhelming crash around this IV squad. Meeks continue to pick them apart. Scanner still in the hands of Nock, who's alive, but at a 1-4 does not bode well. Isabel coming in at 7 and 3. And let's take a look at the KDs. A little more spread out this time for Meeks, with Random Arrows leading the charge with 12 kills. Fraza and Gublin doing their hardest with 9 and 9, but IV in a tough spot on the attack on Miru, down 7-3. They have a lot of work to do, and losing here puts them into series point. So it's got to be on their mind to some degree. They have to shake the thought of the whole series. They've got to focus on round to round. working. Got several kills. That nade whizzes past the shoulder of Gray. Abaza goes down, but a quick refrag sets the odds right back. We could be seeing a rotation here towards A. Isabel and Gray. Gonna have to read that that's happening, though. It looks like at least one of them is. Two, though, doable. Bleach finds the first. Isabel goes down. Up to Gray. As time ticks, 50 seconds, so plenty of it, technically. Scanner gets tossed up and picked up by Bleach, and I think Gray hears that. They're not going to be able to catch the scanner plant, though, so the retake is in effect with 40 seconds on the clock. Might not be ready for Bleach on the short corner, and as they pop out, they'll snap to the shot, but scanner down.
Round starting.
And that's a vital IV win. Series point is yet to be delivered. And that threat, as long as it's held at bay, is, I mean, there really could be a momentum shift coming in here. This next round is going to be vital. They need to put 2 in a row. Look at the aggression. Meeks just trying something different here. As they get pushed up, Gray catches the scanner holder instantly. Goobin with a quick refrag, though. Gray can't get that fast enough, so only a brief stall in this B-site push, but that might have been enough to kind of stop the B-site push entirely. They're committed. Peek out from Civ is devastating, though, and that's the double. Isabel with another on the back end, and IV in a position. Where Gooblin's going to need to clutch, and they found multi-kills already this series. And Gooblin catches random. That's the first. Full HP? No, they took damage during that trade, so. Look at the wise rotation. Isabel's going to watch the long angle just a bit in case Gooblin tries to flank from the edge. They're going to push up onto Civ, and that's the right choice, but Civ finds the kill. Meeks take it to series point.
Match point.
IV now have to win 5 in a row to keep their hopes alive of advancing into the semifinals. Otherwise, they will be going down into the losers bracket to contend against the teams that have already lost so far. And that includes Poised Prodigies and a few others. Nice snap from Isabel catching the for more, they'll catch T. They're going to keep hunting through this smoke. And eventually, they'll find a third. Isabel says, I didn't need to play too good until it matters the most. There's a fourth. Is this the ace? I think it is. Isabel clutches up the final round. And Meeks go 9-4. Lock in map 2 and take the series win in 2. (17-7) at the end for Isabel. What a performance. And ultimately, what a great series. That was a lot of fun, and thank you all for tuning in, checking it out, enjoying the action this afternoon. But that will be it for EU. in our postseason. At least this weekend. We've got next weekend obviously lined up with the losers bracket kicking things off on Saturday. I think we'll then get into the losers of the winners bracket on Sunday, and then semis and finals at the start of the new year. So there's a lot of postseason left ahead of us, a lot of EU action left ahead of us, and a lot of NA action left ahead of us. Challenger Cup champions are being decided today in a best-of-3 series, so be sure to tune into that. T may be joining back onto the stream there. But like I said, a lot left ahead of us this weekend, next weekend, and at the start of the new year. It's postseason time, and it has only just begun. Thank you all for tuning in. A shout out to Axe Labs for supporting the VRML this year, and with Season 2 coming in to that cash prize pool, $1,500 on the line for first place for EU. So, tremendous amount of cash there, and we really do appreciate, again, that support coming in from Axe Labs. They've been really great with everything from spectator client updates to obviously in-game updates. That free-to-play update was stellar, so we really do appreciate. Yeah, I see Chandler say, yeah, I might have had the score wrong. But anyway, that'll be it for me here this afternoon. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's. Be sure to tune in later today for the NA side of things. Until then, stay classy. VAIL VRML is brought to you by XLab, Exclaim, Helga, the esports manager, HyperX, ProTube VR, VR Cover. Thanks for watching VRML.